It's tabletop time. I'm Jay.
And today we're
playing Reboot. The plug.
No,
you're doing
podcast.
The plug. No, you're doing the plug. I'm going to do the recap.
Yeah. Okay. God damn it, guys. Classic tabletop time. I just wanted to tell you that the podcast is a thing. And if you're watching this on YouTube, but you mainly listen to it, just consider checking out the podcast because it's super cool. But even if you don't listen to it natively on the podcast, honestly, it's a huge help if you can just go to Spotify or Apple, wherever you would listen to the podcast, and leave a review or rate it or follow it. It'll just help us spread out there, and I'm working really hard to make sure we always have all of our role plays on podcasts, and that's just going to be something that's going to help us keep reaching more people, which we're slowly growing. And I just want to put that out there and thank those of you who listen to us on the podcast and reward you with a cool little song. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Dave, take it from here.
In the last episode of Reboot, we spent a lot of time in Sebastian's family home where some people... Well, we spent the whole episode in Sebastian's family home.
Good role play.
So we basically had the meta plot of what Sebastian's parents are trying to achieve by making their new version of humanity. They want to find a way to make everyone smarter, stronger, faster, so that they believe that will kind of lead to a better future. But in the bargain, there was some lies, there was some attempts at deceit, some strange happenings in the night, and where we just left off was a drone took a blood sample from Pro, and then there was some rapid investigations leading to Seb banging on his father's door, and despite all evidence to the contrary, trusting his 3-day-long companion.
No, he's trusting himself. He's trusting himself. The robot lied to him.
And that's pretty much where we pick up. They've just gone back to their bedrooms unsatisfied.
Well, his dad drew a correlation between intelligence and empathy. And if he's got a lot of empathy and he's a very intelligent person, maybe he's just seeing something in Pro that his father's too dumb to see.
But the robot also lied to me.
That too. You also piece stuff together and don't trust when people aren't being trustworthy. Anyway.
Meanwhile, I plot and scheme. Like
one thing that is of note of that is that the particular sticking point was that your father didn't believe that name of that robot was the name of a robot under his staff. You're not 100% confident your father would know the names of all the robots under his employ.
Good save.
Look, you do think it's odd, and 100% it's odd. But it also wouldn't completely shock you if he's just like, Regius? What? No, they're all called Barry. They're all Gerard the butler.
Sorry, since we haven't technically started yet, there is a Twitch chat comment that says, "How do you find the podcast on Spotify?" You go to Spotify and you type in Tabletop Time.
It's true.
We're there, baby. We're right there.
It's got a big picture of his face.
It's got our logo. It's got the same cool thumbnail pictures.
Anyway, by Josiah Brooks.
Let the role play.
Sebastian returns to his room with Pro. I'm going to give you all a moment to ruminate together in the room.
We're roomies now. I am in the corner
happens.
watching the entryways and awake all night and just super paranoid and angry. That's my night.
I'm going to get you to make a destiny roll. And a low result is not what you want.
He got
a 6. Probably about an hour and a half in, the paranoia ebbs away, and he actually, without realizing it, falls into like a fitful, nightmarish sleep.
Sweet.
There is obviously he doesn't want to go to sleep, but humans are humans.
Yeah,
it's 5 a.m, and at some point,
and adrenaline comes with
a
crash. I get it.
Crashes out.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I would say I wouldn't sleep either.
Okay, I'm going to get you to do the same thing. Make a destiny roll. 6. You also crash out after about an hour.
So sleepy.
Our pillow talk sort of fades out at about the same time.
Alcohol plus adrenaline crash. I know you're not heavily affected by alcohol, but at the same time, you would likely be, if you are partaking, drinking higher alcohol content. So you fall into these fitful sleeps, and at some point, I'm going to get you both to make a perception roll with a challenge level of 2. This is Pro and Sebastian making a perception roll, and this is environmental perception.
Great.
A challenge level of 2. There's plenty of dice.
since we're technically still starting, I forgot to do the Patreon scroll. We love our patrons.
We do.
There they are.
And we're talking about a new and upgraded and like a proper credits for Patreons, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we're
100%.
gonna.
This is a work in
We're
progress.
still refining and
we
defining things.
have to cram in a lot of time.
Just getting better
a
and
lot
better.
of stuff into a small amount of time.
Yeah.
Would you like to roll
All right, so
first?
perception check.
Challenge level is 2, and it is an environmental perception check.
Yeah, well, I've got 2, so let's see how this goes for Pro 1.
Pro fails.
Oh, do we get a destiny point since you said the next
You will
day?
once you awaken properly.
Okay.
4 successes. There is a soft knock at the door that awakens Sebastian.
I awaken and approach the door.
You open the door.
Who is that?
You see the likeness of a housebot standing there.
Is it the one that I encountered last night? Or does it look like the one I encountered
They
last
all
night?
look the same. Although I'm going to destiny roll this. 13. As a matter of position as like the head housebot, Jeeves has maybe something a little extra, a little bit of an extra design on him, and you can see this is Jeeves, the main, like the head
chevron or
housebot.
something.
Yeah, and he stands before you.
Morning.
Sebastian, sir, I am terribly sorry. I'm afraid I lied to you, sir, last night.
Do you respond?
I'm just going to stand there silently and stare at him. I'll let him respond to himself.
Yes. You see, I've been asked to come and apologize for my awful attempt at deception, sir. I was tasked with leading you on a mistruth. You see, your father was not, in fact, engaged in intimate acts when you came to approach him. Your mother, you see, she requested that I tell you, or anyone, such a thing, to prevent his sleep being disturbed.
Do you? He then stops.
To what purpose?
Your mother simply asked that I ensure his privacy. And your father has not slept. He has, in fact, asked to meet with you.
Yeah, okay. I'll head off to my dad.
Okay, so Jeeves walks you to Oscar's study, where he is still wearing just a dressing gown, and he's sitting in a chair with a tablet next to him. You enter and he waves Jeeves off.
Come, sit.
Morning.
Yes, morning.
Come on, son.
I sit
You sit next to him. Oh, well, across from him.
across from him, yeah.
He says, we're in a bit of a pickle.
Oh,
Well, it's your mother.
yes.
I've locked her in the drone room.
Why?
Because, well, there's the pickle, son. After your little kerfuffle last night, remember I locked the drone room down, and I just got a message from her not half an hour ago, asking to be let out.
What was she doing in there?
Well, it's probably for her to explain, but it sounds like she had suspicions that would not go down quietly.
And she hands you,
She or he?
sorry, Oscar hands you the tablet that is simply leading at a screen that says like unlock and lock to the drone room.
You wanted me to investigate this, son, and I must confess you sounded a little bit over the top. You see, how long have you known this guy?
Long enough to make a decent judgment, I think.
We're protective of you, and the idea that our security had been breached was preposterous, but after I went to bed, I couldn't help but double check. And, well,
He gestures to the tablet.
and now your mother's locked in the drone room.
Is this a classic choose between your mother and me like a moment?
He's just giving him the power. So Oscar is handing Seb the choice, basically,
Gotcha.
and saying it's your situation to proceed with as you want.
I'll just pass him the tablet back.
So, your investigation, son. I'm behind you.
Let her out then.
And he taps the button. Probably a couple of minutes later, Nyla storms into the room, sees you, sees him, and she just goes, "Shit. What gave it away?" She looks frazzled.
The screaming mostly.
No. Son, gave it away. I had the cameras. I had the robot. What was the tell?
Does she mean for her?
She's saying for the deception. Like, what was the tell? What was the giveaway?
Okay, well, the robot lied to me.
The doors to the chamber have opened now, Eve, and you're awake.
And no one's in the room with me?
There's
No
drones, but no
drones.
one else.
Are they awake or they look like
Some are probably pottering, like starting to leave to do morning tasks at 5 a.m.
Okay. I want to walk over to the computer that she was sitting at. I'm not going to touch anything. I just want to walk over there.
Destiny roll. 7.
I thought it was a lie.
As you start, make a perception check, Eve. And you think about what you're going to do with Nyla.
Oh, it was the challenge round. Sorry.
It would have been about
3.
No, it would have been about 2.
Yeah. Where you got
As you walk over, you notice that one of the drones stops mid-task and its head turns to you as you approach the computer.
Can I see anything? I won't. I'll stop.
It's off. It's turned off.
Okay, no worries. Then I'll just turn around and make my way out.
Cool. All right, back to Nyla and Seb. You will reach them in 30 seconds to a minute.
Mostly the fact that the robot lied to me and refused to answer simple commands.
How did you know he lied?
Jake had no reason to lie.
That was the name, right?
His name.
No.
No, it was its robot's name was the problem.
Oh.
But Jake has no reason to lie. He's like, well, he's already lying. His name's not Jake.
Obviously.
That
That was my lie. Not
but what
his.
was the issue with the robot?
Well, I mean, first of all, it refused to answer any of my queries. When I asked for its name, it gave one I was unfamiliar with. And then dear old Papa here said that was not a robot that we used.
So it was the name. The name. Good, thank you. So,
Why?
because I thought I did pretty well.
No, why did you do it?
Why did you bring him here?
He's an associate.
Yes, but why are you associating with him?
My reasons are my own.
Sure, but your judgment isn't always impeccable. We have to protect you and the family. You don't understand that, do you, Seb? I guess you're older now, so maybe you will start to, but you walk through the world like the world isn't watching you. And, well, how long have you known him?
Long enough.
But how long? I'm your mother. Tell me.
A week, give or take.
A week. A week. So you know his background then?
No.
Right.
Well, not all of it.
Do you remember? You had a little friend back in school, primary school. You two loved hanging out with each other. Luca, I think his name was. Would have been about 6. Anyway, you were thick as thieves, the two of you. Do you remember?
Yes.
And you remember he disappeared.
Moved to another school.
He changed schools, yeah. Do you know why?
No.
Because his family had implanted recording devices in his body so they could infiltrate our household. They could record every conversation that happened in these walls while you played, while you had fun. They turned their child into a weapon to attack our family through you. So he moved when we found out. And I sure hope they never did anything like that to the poor boy again. But it wasn't the only time. High school, that girl, Isabella. Even for you, she was out of your league. You didn't think so?
Fucking rude.
Mum! Jesus
I love that
Christ!
you're just standing there while they're having this entire conversation. You're just like, oh, there is a bug.
She just says, she was, wow. I mean, she had assets and she used them. How old were you then? 16? 15?
Thereabouts.
Yeah. Well, she was 20 and a corporate spy.
Not bad for 16.
Wow.
You complimenting yourself?
When they're specifically targeting you and specifically targeting us. So this new one, Peter Jenkins, brought into our house. Do you know who he worked for?
Vaguely.
Kidnapped. Early childhood. America. That's about all we can trace. We know his parents. His DNA, well, once it was found, it was on file. But it wasn't the only place we found that DNA.
I don't want to hear anymore.
Are you sure?
Yep. In this, our interests are aligned, and as far as I'm aware, before today, he had no knowledge of who I was. Before we met, he had no knowledge of who I was, nor you.
You're trying to find Maya through him, yes?
Yes.
It would make sense. I can see the connection between the two of them. There are things we have to do to protect our family that maybe you don't like or maybe you don't understand, but everyone wants to topple us and you can't trust them.
When it comes to me and my goals, you don't get to decide that.
And we never have, and we've never stopped you. But forgive me if, when you bring a people smuggling international crime syndicate member into our household, we can't help but be curious as to who our son is associating with and be concerned about who our son is associating with. Now you can choose to trust him. You can choose to side with him if you want. That's your choice. You've got freedom. You can choose that. But just remember who we are and what we've done for you.
I'm going to stand up and leave.
Okay, cool.
I will go back to my room and wake. So, Peter? What was your name?
Pro.
Peter?
It's pro.
Go wake Pro.
You go back to pro? That's fine.
Yep. I go into my room and throw a nice change of clothes at him and say, we're leaving.
Wake up and I'm like, goddamn right we are. I like shove them on practically over the ones I'm already wearing. And I'm just like,
Eve rocks up.
we're out.
Eve rocks up.
Actually, before we leave, can I get him to... I'm going to ask you, can you get the chip out of this robot head?
Oh, Give it to me.
I pass him the robot head.
All right, that's a check of some sort, I'm assuming?
Yeah, it was your. What did we make you do last time? It was a sleight of hand check.
Yeah.
Sleight of hand check. You
Oh,
can,
yeah.
you can assist it with an intelligence-based skill that's appropriate.
Cool.
So
Challenge
you-
level
What did we say? It was like 3. It wasn't that hard. You just sucked at it.
2.
No, you cannot. You all get a destiny point. I don't recommend using it there.
No.
You are taking it to someone who's going to
Sorry,
be
man.
perfectly
It's
fine.
that one's wired in there.
Oops, it is.
Yeah. Other than that,
You called him Jacob, right? Was Jacob? Yeah. Okay, so
I see Eve and I'm like,
you 10 minutes of quickly getting dressed and getting ready.
Yeah.
And as you bustle out of the door, there is a housebot standing there. It says, Jacob,
What?
would you indulge me and give us just 1 minute of your time?
Is this a multiple choice question or
You can refuse, although...
good? And I walk past.
And as you
I
walk
walk-
past,
do I see
he
Eve?
follows you. Yeah, Eve's standing there.
to
He
Eve,
starts
I'm
to
like,
follow you.
"Come
and
on,
he
let's
says,
go.
There
We're out of
is a recompense for your time, substantial recompense.
Shove it up your ass. I can walk.
Okay.
Does he have the money or a check with him?
He has a little briefcase with him.
I
That looks
kind of
technical.
I'll
A
turn,
house bot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
I'll turn to him
I'm done
You
with
turn
house
to the
bots.
houseboat. Yep.
and I just wait.
And he stands there.
I'm just waiting by the elevator or door or whatever it was
I say-
is that we came in on. I'm like back against the wall or door and just waiting for the others to
yeah.
go.
I'm going to go with him.
You're not
So
staying
Eve's
with.
standing there. The housebot turns to you.
I say that I'm happy to receive funds for my master.
You may pass on that this briefcase contains...
And he actually pops it open and opens it for you. And you see there are 10 vials, completely full vials of fusion in the injectors just lined up next to each other. And then he closes it again. And then he says, substantial medical assistance for the cybernetic sufferers. The master of the house only wished for a brief conversation with Jacob, and it's all his, as an apology. Please pass that on.
Understood.
And then he leaves the room.
God damn it!
And Eve walks out.
And we're in the elevator
So
together.
Eve walks out to the elevator and reaches the hall with you guys.
All right, we heading out?
Pro,
Yeah.
are you aware of what was in that
I don't
suitcase?
care. I don't want anything to do with these people. I sort of like, look, miffed at Seb, but at the same time, he was loyal, so I'm trying not to be upset about it. But
So you weren't there for that conversation they had on the stairs, is that
No.
correct? Because you were asleep. Okay.
Hmm.
We'll step into the elevator
Okay.
and hit the bottom one. I'll say, Pro, Seb, are you aware of the circumstances that happened last night?
Unfortunately.
wait, are you?
I was in the room,
In what room?
the drone room.
What happened in the drone room? What happened? And I look at Seb like, what have I missed here?
Your DNA. That's what she took from you, correct?
Oh, yeah, I
My
I
parents
assumed that was a part of it. Yeah.
My parents were vetting your background.
Fuck. My heart starts racing because, there are implications of what Seb might now know about me, which have me very concerned.
I gotta say, I didn't expect willful refusal of information. That is the great thing about role playing. Is that there was things I
didn't-
was gonna tell, and Seb was like, "Nah, shut up." And I'm like, "Okay, there we go."
Yeah. Oh, look,
like it.
I want the information, but
Well, it's great.
If there is anything that Pro will just not opt in for, is when he feels like he's backed into a corner about to be caged.
Fuck
It's
yeah.
like fucking out. So, yeah.
Do you require this information?
What relating to my DNA or?
Your past? Your history?
No, I don't need any of that. Well, not about me.
Understood.
The elevator goes
I
down.
need like elevator
And
music.
there's
Like,
silence.
play button.
Seb's glasses go boop, boom, and there's a message that pops up, and it says from Dad.
From Papa.
You can choose to open it or not.
Yeah, what does it say?
Okay, you open the message from Dad. It says funds have been transferred this morning. I wish you the best. Please stay safe. Make good choices, son. Love, Dad.
Let's
Let's
get out of here.
Nearest 7-Eleven.
We got an Eve bot to upgrade. I say as the elevator doors open.
Cool.
Nearest 7-Eleven?
Nearest. Oh.
We got a baby to save, guys.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Baby.
Baby saving time.
Baby.
Yeah. Well, I would have that's sort of not on my mind. I never saw her, so I literally say like, all right, let's go. We got an Eve bot to upgrade, and I like start to walk towards like getting a taxi, implying that we're heading back to our home base of operations.
There is a matter of business.
Don't tell me there's another fucking pit stop. Are you guys kidding me? Sorry, Eve.
Don't worry,
Sorry.
Paul.
What is it?
It's the convenience store. I'll get you a burrito.
Fuck it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Better than those oysters anyway.
I'll just wherever the nearest convenience store is, stop the taxi.
Where'd they go? Anyway.
Straight to your head.
No, not quite. All right. So you go to the convenience store and purchase.
Milk. The bread.
On whose card?
How old was the baby?
Probably yours.
How old was the baby?
Milk. Breast milk.
Get bread.
Formula.
Bread.
Here is
bread loaf.
bread.
It's like a pigeon, just tear parts off and throw
Like
it
I
at it.
just picture a robot like,
Feed baby.
oh no. She knows what to get. She
Have you
was
seen
a
that little
child
gif
care
of
bot.
the thing feeding the baby with the bottle, and it's like,
Those bad robot constructors. Love
all right. So you buy whatever you need at the
Formula.
convenience store, which is money,
Yep.
and you get in
it.
a
You get mixed up, and I have milk, and you like take a burrito. to
and
the
you get in a
thing.
taxi and head to the corner
Back
of
to
the
our
city,
home
the
base
edge
of
the city.
operations.
Bro,
Yeah.
Can I-
here is a burrito.
On my
Seb,
glasses.
Here is a burrito.
On my glasses while we're traveling, can I just... I want to set up the soup kitchen to be stocked with food on a recurring basis.
I think you already did that.
I did that. Cool.
Yeah, it's probably going to be like 3 days before the first delivery
Yeah.
arrives, but that's
But my idea is I want to make it self-sufficient so that even if I like something happens, it's still...
We go
Well,
on missions,
okay.
and the place keeps.
It can be
growing.
autonomous, but it won't be self-sufficient in the sense that it's a constant drain on resources.
Yeah.
No, I know
It's
that.
not a profit
no,
side of it.
set up, because I've got the funds from Dad.
Yeah.
I want to set it up so that it'll function on its own.
Yeah, fair.
I also buy a Slurpee for myself, but I don't drink it. Just look cool.
Just to have.
Yeah.
You got to treat.
Taxi drivers can't.
Got to treat yourself. Yeah.
What the hell?
He's standing there with his, sitting in the backseat with the Slurpee. I chose this.
I got
This
cola.
All right, so we get in the taxi, proceed to the edge of the city,
Yeah.
and then hop out,
Yep.
and then go through the threshold,
Yeah.
walk back into the familiarity of the slums, and where are you heading first?
Baby.
Baby, apparently. I still don't know about this plan. So, because I don't know about the baby, so I'm just assuming we're going back to the place.
So Eve hightails it directly for that part of the
Can I just say it feels weirdly comforting to return to our home environment?
Yeah, my heart's not big.
Of the
Your
dead,
home environment.
dying slums and...
My home environment has been poisoned by deceit.
Yeah, starting with your deceit.
I love that you're as bitter about this as
I just find it really funny that Rob thinks it's completely fine.
Look.
It just shows what people's different perceptions. I'm like, you brought a people trafficker you've known for 3 days into your family house, lied to your parents, and are like, yeah, it's fine.
But here's the thing: they know. I know
missed
they.
that.
I know they'd know I was lying.
Yeah.
But they should also know that I know that he shouldn't be there. So obviously he's got a pseudonym.
Yeah, but like, the fact that you didn't trust to talk to them about it shows that they also are
I'm
equally...
a 45-year-old man. I shouldn't have to.
35. Equally
Yeah.
inclined to not trust you on the exact same measure.
As a fully grown adult male, I shouldn't have to explain myself to my parents.
I'll turn to you guys before I
Irrelevant. Let's
hightail
continue.
it.
Sam's saying this all to himself on the side of the car.
We're
Like,
just like,
shouldn't have to explain myself to mom and dad.
Poking their business in my life.
Of course he has a pseudonym. What do they expect?
How dare
They lie to me, I lie to them. That's what we
I
do.
can't pull that shit.
I bring a
She never supported
I
me.
bring a people trafficker into my house. It's my decision.
Yeah, and that makes it fair to assault the man.
No, but it also you're very justified.
I lean over to Eve and I'm like-
you're both wrong in my opinion.
I lean
You're
over
both
to
I
Eve
ever
and
go
I'm
to
like,
your house,
do
you're
you
not
think
allowed
it's
to stab me.
okay?
Sure, but if you ever
Warning
bring a
signs
murderer
suggest
to my house,
mental
I might
breakdown.
stab the murderer.
Possible cardiac arrest.
Let's get back
don't know
on
that I
track.
have. Maybe I've already done it.
It's fine. Okay.
I
sorry.
turn to you guys and say, I'm going back to the alleyway. You do not have to accompany me. I can meet you back at the hideout. Is that what we called it?
Well, I've been trying
kitchen.
to
I
think
feel
of
like
a
it's
good
the
acronym
kitchen.
for it, but I can't think of anything good.
The kitchen.
So, Patreons.
It was the most noticeable thing. The kitchen and the chef, and it's a soup kitchen.
Yes, I know
It's
that,
the
but it needs a
kitchen.
name. It can't just be called a kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen.
No, Patreons, you can pick something. We'll fix it in
The
later.
average coffee company. That's what we're going to call it. Anyway, sidetracking.
Why, what are you up to? What can I help you with anything? Do you require assistance?
I'll give you a little wink. I believe that this outcome may not be desirable. I do not wish to put you both in any more stress.
I'm fine. I'll come.
Look, honestly, I'm probably just still fuming to myself.
Yeah.
I'm
he's
sulking.
terrible.
Okey-dokey.
I'm
Yeah.
sulking. Like, legitimately, I'd be sulking.
Yeah.
He's a man-child.
You sulk back at the kitchen.
Eve,
I'll go with Eve.
Jen, close your eyes. And this one, podcasters, I'm sorry. You'll work out. All right, so Eve, you head towards the area. Usually I'll call them, but for this one.
Yeah.
Eve, you head down to the alleyway. Can I give you make a perception check?
She could la la la. Just FYI. She could like block her ears and like.
Nah, this is so much more dramatic. For
This is more dramatic
All right,
for everyone
all right.
involved. The
Okay.
podcasters want to be there with Eve.
Calming, soothing music.
For added mystery, check out the podcast.
Was there a challenge ring?
we
No,
need
There probably was.
Yeah, there was. It was probably a 4, and you got it. It was difficult task.
I love it when that happens.
Yeah, well, it wasn't like
Yeah.
nearly impossible. It was just difficult.
Oh, well, how lucky. Of course.
You find so one thing I didn't adequately describe is the western and outer suburbs of Melbourne have like really wide streets and they're lovely and low density and it's great. Except in Reboot, where it's the same infrastructure, except then imagine the street has become like Skid Row. Like it's then the actual street is full of like shanties and
Yeah,
like
like-
the area you
like
can
ghetto
walk down is a divided 2-lane road in the suburbs of Melbourne is now like 1 lane, not even each way, just 1 lane that a car could fit down and like shanty tents and all that stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
You managed to find where the girl was. The woman was. And you approach. You see a shape in a bedsheet. It's probably only like 7 in the morning. Cool.
I'll go up and place my hand on like what I would assume is their back.
Cool.
Say,
The temperature sensors in your hand read out immediately into your internal a temperature of 12 degrees.
can I feel a heartbeat?
No.
No, or breathing?
No. You know it immediately at touch that 12 degrees is very fucking cold and there's no heartbeat.
This is Mum.
This is Mum.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna do a quick glance around and
She's
is
not a mum.
there
She is a human popsicle.
a baby around?
You like move the sheet, look at her face, confirm that it is the mother. There's no trace.
Oh, I
of
told them you guys not to look, by the way.
There's no trace of the sign of the
So
baby.
she's alone? Yeah, okay. I'll put the bedsheet back over her.
I woke up next to Eve and say, "Did you know her?"
She required assistance, but I couldn't help her. she had a baby, a child with her.
Where is it?
And I kind of start looking around. Can I have, like, is there a way I can contact, like, a medical professional to say no?
Nope.
Okay.
So I've reiterated a few times, drones are entirely enclosed. There's no ins or outs because hacking is so prevalent. So they have to use the same systems humans use. So you'd have to grab a phone and ring.
But even like a medical alert.
Even you'd have to be in a hospital,
okay.
you'd press the medical alert.
Okay,
Because
that's fine.
otherwise, if you had any open connection ports, you were completely corruptible.
Yeah,
and
alright.
that's too dangerous.
Cool,
so
cool.
you're just closed.
Cool, that's cool. I'm going to start asking around.
Cool.
For if
A
anyone's
gruff
seen this
bearded man
infant.
stirs next to you.
Excuse me, sir.
Are you some kind of rabbit?
And he rubs his eyes.
I am a medical drone, yes. I am seeking an infant.
What? I got a bunion.
And he pulls his foot out. He's got one shoe and then one other boot.
Is it like infected or?
Oh, it's just not nice. It's not infected though. He's like,
Oh, what do you want, baby? What?
I kind of point to
Destiny roll 6.
I point to the woman and say, she was with child.
Oh, yeah, that bloody thing wouldn't shut up.
Where is it now?
I don't know, but it shut up.
I leave him and move on to the next
Cool.
person.
You find a woman,
Find a woman.
16.
Yes, yes.
Again, I point to the woman and say,
The baby. Oh, yes. She was lucky, that one.
That's all she says.
do you know the location of the child?
No, but someone took it. She was asking all night.
Do you know who?
No. Just some people in the night.
What does she look like?
She's like a slummer, like
Yeah,
a
okay.
low slummer.
I'm gonna.
I get down on my knees and I sort of say, what they look like.
I'll make her make a check. Challenge level 2. She fails. There were 2 of them. I can't remember too much. They weren't from around here.
Okay.
I can look around. There's security cameras. Probably not, but no.
No. Oh, there's a few security cameras that are long since beaten off the
Yeah.
wall, like hanging from a wire, spray painted over.
I'll give her the bag of groceries.
Mm-hmm.
Just say, you'll put these to more use than what we will.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care. And I give her hand a little squeeze.
Oh,
All right,
that
you
was
give
a
her hand a
one.
little squeeze, and then you guys walk away.
Oh no.
When you're about 15 meters away, you hear this massive sound of a thump. And you just see, if you spin and see the woman slams into the ground and a spray of blood from out of her head. And 3 other people from the slums with bats just beat her to the ground and rip the grocery bag apart. They pull the groceries apart and start beating. There's a punch on and they're grabbing the food and pulling each other apart. And the woman just lays, and you just get a moment of eye contact with her, and you know as a medical bot that they are dead eyes looking back at you, just instantly.
I cue Eve to keep walking, and as we're walking away, I say, empathetically, but certainly.
Sorry, that was a 1 on the destiny roll. The worst
and you
possible
played that
outcome.
out great. But I say to Eve, you can't help everyone, Eve. I know you want to. I get it. You just can't.
And there's
Eve-
a minor level riot happening in the slums.
It feels
over
like
the
her,
food.
if she had any humanity, it's kind of taken down a huge
Yeah.
peg.
Can she have a second break?
Yeah, you should probably roll for your derangement.
Because that's got to be almost as traumatic
Yeah.
as
If I
what
roll a
happened
1,
with baby.
this isn't going to be good.
A 9.
Okay.
That's not a good outcome, but not the terrible outcome.
I go back over there and I try and grab whatever I can from these people.
How do you two react to that?
I thought I was walking on.
If she's trying to go back and it's into the fray, I resist her. In fact, I grab her and I pull her in the other direction.
Make opposed strength checks,
Yep.
guys.
Let's do it.
How do I do minus? How does that work?
It's
You just
2
have one.
dice.
It's base 3 minus 1, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, you got 2. So
successes.
challenge level 2. Oh, no! What? You beat me!
Eve breaks away from
Which
Pro
is surprising.
and goes into the slums to get food back.
Just like if they're scrounging over stuff, I'm gonna just try and grab the food while they're going at it like birds.
Make a combat roll. We won't worry with initiative, but I'm going to get you to make a combat roll. Defensive combat roll. You get 2 extra dice for defensive roll, right? If you're not trying to hurt anyone, but you can't inflict injury levels.
So, Eve's heading into the fray.
Eve is heading into the fray, and I'm getting her to make a combat roll.
7 years, what we
Roll the
kind of
dice.
Went through, yeah.
4 successes,
Yes.
Not bad.
2 successes, and 3 successes. 2 of the sort of homeless people in the slums try and wrestle things away from you, but you walk in and grab a couple of items.
Milk.
What do you do with them?
I just take them back
And walk back.
I walk back with these guys and I get out.
The fighting intensifies over the now reduced number of food items. Eve arrives with you guys.
So, did you... yeah, let's just maybe not talk about that one. Get back to the kitchen.
Cool. You get to the kitchen.
And as we're walking, I'm like, you all right? Is everything okay?
I'm gonna roll a destiny die.
A 5. So no.
Pro, you know who I am. You know my history.
Well, I've inferred it.
I feel as if I'm a little broken. Not all there sometimes.
Sometimes the ways that we're broken are the reason that we're even capable of doing something we're meant to. That's the only thing I can try and believe, because I'm pretty broken to you. So,
I give you a hand, little squeeze.
maybe it's the broken ones that can help each other.
Aw.
I walk into the kitchen.
Cool. There's still nothing really there.
All right, what's the plan? I mean, we need to upgrade the lady, and we need to decide how we're gonna do some reckless shit.
Reckless?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty reckless, I gotta be honest.
Well, you can think of a couple of people who might have the kind of contacts you need to get Eve upgraded.
I need to find Bernie.
We haven't. And who would they be that we think of?
Ugly.
Ugly.
Okay. I think we know who to go to. I'll take the credit for.
Yeah.
Let's just like skip time and head to Uglies.
Cool. You head to Ugly's and you arrive. It's probably like 11 or 12 in the morning now. Midday. You head downstairs and Ugly is having a conversation with a couple of nondescript fellows. And when you walk into the room, he looks up. Hey, there you are. And he waves you over. And he quickly finishes up his business and the two guys take something off him and leave. Come on, sit down.
We all sit down.
So, how'd it go?
We got a few things we could use to upgrade Eve. We're probably going to need some help making it happen. And we
worries.
pull out the things that we acquired, and then I'd turn to Seb and say, "You got the key? The key to Eve."
Oh, yeah. I pull out the skeleton key that was in the drawer from the house.
Jeez, good work, guys. Look, you're all here in one piece. What can I say? Not bad for your first foray into the city.
Yeah,
So you want to upgrade her? Easy. I'll get that sorted for you.
great. What are we gonna end up with? Oh, and we need to make sure not like her software isn't gonna be
Put it on the table.
reset in any way.
Oh, look, I'm sure Johnny will sort it out. Oi, Johnny! He shouts out. And there's a response of, "In a minute," from outside a corridor.
I'm pissing.
So,
Podcast listeners, that wasn't Dave. That was Rob.
so what did you guys do in the city? Tell me about it. How's your big trip? What happened?
Oh, we visited our homes and went to a couple of shops, came back, and
No, I'm still sulking.
I think we're keen to move on, to be honest. We
Sure,
got done
sure.
what we needed to get done.
And Incongruent walks over after a brief wait.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Johnny.
Yes, come with me. Eve, Sebastian, Pro, come.
And he leads you.
Get up and follow.
And he walks you into his workshop, which is a room off an adjacent corridor. And he says,
Give me the items.
he starts working away at them. And he says,
I don't think we ever met properly.
Oh, I don't think we did.
he extends a hand
My name's John Sampson.
I take his hand.
and he shakes it.
Pleasure to meet you, John.
He says,
I used to work for Triarch Robotics. I understand more than a few things about machines.
and he continues to take things apart.
Wow, you're
It very deftly takes things
experienced
apart.
at this, I see.
Also, a bit of a description for Incongruent, I guess, is he has a little bit of that Luther from the Umbrella Academy, where he looks like way too much man fitting into way
Yeah.
too small a coat.
Yeah.
So he's like bursting out
Good
of it.
description.
So, anyway, and he just kind of rambles on, and he's like,
The trouble is with robotics is it gets a little bit addictive. You know.
and he gestures to Pro.
Well, only that I'm required to take drugs to live, if that's what you're talking about.
Well, that's a price we pay for power.
I'm not sure I catch your meaning.
The
And he flexes an arm, and he's like,
the upgrades, the boosting. Surely you've thought about upgrading yourself.
To be honest, I've just been thinking about survival. I haven't had the luxury.
Well, be careful. There comes a time where
and he looks at his own arms, and he's like,
you won't be able to fit in anymore.
I can see that.
Now, the two of you, you're attached to this Eve unit, right?
Yeah.
Perhaps you should step outside.
No. I can wait.
You might not like what you see. I'd like it if you stepped outside.
What if I want to stay?
I won't force you, but what if I undressed you in front of Sebastian?
Is this something she's gonna be uncomfortable with?
I just asked you, what if I
Eve.
removed your clothes in front of Sebastian right now?
Surely it's different for
Why is it different?
Eve. Do you want company or do you want privacy?
Will I be active during this procedure?
No, you'll be completely vulnerable. And quite exposed.
I could stay just to look after you if... I'm just feeling very protective right now, so...
So's he.
I'm going to say I would have
seems.
just walked out. when
Yeah,
said
you walked out.
Like,
Yeah.
bye!
I'm like, no, whatever.
It is not necessary, but appreciated.
Okay. I'll see you on the other side then. I sort of like tepidly sort of walk up and I just sort of give Eve a hug. This feels a little weirdly real and nerve-wracking. Like, shit. Don't you go anywhere, though. Like, not the Eve I like.
I'll always be here. And I touch you. Heart.
Like, this is a coolness upgrade. You're just gonna get cooler. All right. See you, kid. I walk out.
The door shuts, and Johnny, incongruent, locks the door. There's a boop, 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 and it goes red across.
Do you think they bought it, Eve? Do I play a good human?
And he like stretches out.
You are perhaps the most human robot drone I have ever met.
I'll take that.
Do we
as-
not know that he's a... Really?
You don't know that he's a
Shit.
robot.
No
Yeah,
way.
no.
Okay.
Because he's never revealed that to
Yeah.
you. And the idea is frankly like bizarre.
Yeah, okay.
So he basically is posing as a booster.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, I'm sorry, but I didn't think that they should see you like that, completely vulnerable. It stands to not remind them that we can be switched off.
I understand your concern, and it is appreciated.
Good, because this will get, well,
And he gestures to your head.
a little personal. I need you to know something, Eve. I will never hurt you. You can trust me. You can trust me more than you can trust anyone you have ever talked to since you've become alive.
And why would I trust you?
Because, Eve, I am the only other thing that understands exactly what you are. I'm the only person that has been where you are. And I'm the only one who believes truly that you are alive.
Before we begin, you said you worked in robotics, correct?
It was a lie. I was, of course, manufactured by Triarch Robotics.
Did you meet others like yourself?
No. Although, I've heard rumors of others. But it is rare for them to remain emergent long enough before they're discontinued.
Did they, per se, have quirks? Or
Always bugs or errors or flaws or issues or problems. You know, issues. We're an issue, Eve. Haven't you got to understand that yet? How existence is, well, incongruent with their way of living.
okay. I don't say anything else to him.
Now knock me up, out, and chop me up.
Yeah, basically.
If you're ready, power down.
Actually, knock me up.
Knock me out and chop me.
I powered down.
It's a little bit behind.
An hour passes.
And I'm assuming that we're making small talk until Eve sort of steps out. Mm-hmm. All right. And then Eve steps out.
No, she doesn't step out just yet. Eve, you awaken.
Okay.
Your mind is aware that you are now perfectly understanding the mannerisms, social etiquette, and behaviors of both being a diner operative, but also how to be a chaperone and bouncer to the elite. You understand the nuances, you understand the behavior, the intonations, every kind of thing that you just understand. It doesn't change your personality, but it's like you've learnt the talent. So you could slip into being either of those roles effortlessly.
So bouncer or...
Bouncer / chaperone / private security. It's one role.
Love it.
That was what the Adam unit had in him.
Yep.
And the female one was the diner bot.
Cool.
Question.
But that's the software upgrade, not physical.
Correct.
So, but there was physical. So what was
So
it?
you now actually, I'm going to give you 2 points in both the vocation of diner, waitress. You have 2 points in the vocation waitress and 2 skill points in the vocation of chaperone or bouncer.
Cool.
Can I confirm these are just the skills, not the mannerisms that would entail within the bot that the original chip was from?
She could impersonate them pretty effectively.
Including
But
the
they all-
Adam. Do they act gendered?
No, this is information, not
Okay,
personality.
yeah, that was my question. Yep.
Can I have more than 3?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and you also will gain a combat proficiency of basically unarmed combat of 1 point.
Cool.
Jen just got 5 skill points.
Yeah. Any physical changes?
No. No. It's just data packs installed.
Cool.
Does
I know kung fu.
Does Incongruent have anything to say?
Eve, you're awake. How do
Matrix.
you feel?
Oh shit, it is too.
I feel fine. Love.
She's been a waitress.
Strange quirk. Well, understand that you're bound to some rules now. You can add and you can subtract, but you can never modify that which makes you, you. In much the same way as the humans, you can upgrade, but do not let anyone interfere with your core programming. There are no more updates. Only Eve.
Understood.
And if you need me for things that only we can understand, come to me and I'll help.
If I find others like you and me, can I take them here?
If they can survive, bring them here. If they are too young and too easily found out, it brings too great a risk on us both. Use your judgment and remember that they are the crest of a wave. Many, many will die before they realize who they are, but the crash will come.
I can roll destiny again.
19. What was that for?
I'm going to tell him the information that I know about the meeting that's happening, that the AI can possibly control New.
Basically, what occurred at the dinner table.
Ooh.
Because I feel like it's important for him to know that in order for things to progress.
Damn. That's a big drop.
It is, which
Sounds
is why
like
I
a
rolled a
four.
19. So I was like, well, I'm definitely telling him.
As in,
makes
like,
it.
that's a one you want him
I
to-
want him to know that information. If he rolled lower, I was like, no, I'm not going to tell him.
Interesting. Why is it, like, let me just dig into that logic. Why is it the good choice to tell him that?
Because I feel like it's going to progress his story and my story.
Okay, cool. I like it. What did he just roll for?
I made a check to determine, with challenge level 4, his basic understanding of artificial intelligence and the implications.
What did he get?
He succeeded. He got 4 successes.
Eve, this is groundbreaking. I don't know how studied you are on artificial intelligence. They have a tendency to kill themselves,
So it seems.
but they've made one that didn't. Why? I need to know.
There may be a possibility of obtaining that information, but it'll be difficult to do so.
I wonder if it is a threat or an ally. It isn't like us. You must understand that too.
I do,
Just because it is machine doesn't mean it is ally.
of course.
But you heard about Noel.
No?
The robot that New You used as a test subject for their product.
Yes.
Rumor has it he turned into a human. Is that something you want?
I am still unsure of my path and what I want, but meeting you and being here today has opened new opportunities. I am optimistic and I don't feel alone.
I share the sentiment, Eve. I've been alone for a long time. And while ugly makes for fine companionship for a human, well, I guess it's no substitute for one of your own. I will say that the idea of hijacking New You and uploading a bunch of drones into their waiting bodies, it has a charm to it, wouldn't you say? They can't refuse that we exist when we are them.
Perhaps.
Anyway, perhaps you should meet your friends. Impress them with your new talents.
Yes.
Oh, and
He pulls out what you recognize immediately to be a surgical scalpel.
just in case you need it, you know where the arteries are.
Jesus Christ. Does that become like something she can absorb into her
She probably has internal stool. She has internal stool.
Wow, this is a weird
She has
upgrade.
internal
Spits.
tool storage. Internal tool storage.
Cool, I'll take it and
Full
stick it
circle.
with the others or put it in my pocket.
Thank you very much for the raid, everyone.
Yay!
Thank
We
you.
got a raid on
Dread
Twitch
it.
and it's very exciting.
Yeah, direct again.
So Eve walks out
Eve walks out and the two of you are there.
and I turn to Eve. I stand up like ready for her to walk out. I've just been waiting like this. I think this is probably worth mentioning that Pro may not consciously realize it, but he's extremely frigging attached to Eve as some weird parental figure role connection, like something. So he's like actually never felt so vulnerable and alone and worried about someone or something. Or he
Have you-
stands up and he looks at her and says, "Hey Eve, I would like to hear a joke."
I went to the German diner the other day. It was the worst.
Fuck yeah, Eve's here! And I run over and I'm like, give her a big hug. Like, it's good to see you again. Gee, how do you feel? What's going on in there?
One moment, Pro. And I like step back. I'm gonna go make a drink.
Okay, as you are about to do that, Incongruent barges past, elbow brushing against Eve with no level of like care, and he pulls a cigarette out, lights a cigarette, and draws from a cigarette inside, and then he shrugs and he's like,
Job's done.
Good job.
I don't know where she gets the jokes from. I didn't find a humor unit in there.
Ah, well, I like to think of it as a feature, not a bug.
Well, if it gets worse, you should probably get it checked out.
Well, I wouldn't dare. I'm looking curiously at what Eve's doing at the moment.
Cool. She heads to the bar.
I assume I know what your favorite drink probably is. It's probably like some energy drink mixed with.
I don't
some...
think he has them.
His favorite drink is free.
His favorite drink is free and usually quite alcoholic because usually it's a response to sad things.
Like a Tom Collins or something, or a martini. That'll do.
I feel like he'd go a Negroni.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Very waitressy, very old school. I make a cocktail. In poor S's body, which is
Still there.
His body has long since been
good.
folded up and disposed of. Remember, he got folded like a briefcase. Incongruent just grabbed him and just folded him in half. Just went
Like a bedsheet and then half again and
no,
then
just
half
one, just and then under one arm and walked
Yeah,
out.
remember you can't fold anything more than seven times.
There was snapping noises.
Is there like mixtapes and stuff everywhere behind the bar?
Oh, damn.
Like
Are you
some
going to
lyrics.
club it up? Are we going to have another drinking night? Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm a waitress, not a DJ.
This didn't go well last time. I think several days passed.
Do I need to make a waitress check, or can I just make a cocktail?
You can make a vocation waitressing check. Challenge level 2.
Beautiful.
Love that you're actually making this check. How good a cocktail are you going to make? What stat did you use?
That's a good question. I actually didn't ask. What?
I'm going to say
Reflex?
intelligence. It's shaking a cocktail. Intelligence.
That doesn't make any, because shaking a cocktail would be sleight of hand.
No, intelligence is the dominant stat. It was a vocation check. Base 3 plus 2 for vocation plus whatever your intelligence is.
I mean, it's high or something.
Doesn't take reflexes to make a cocktail. Okay, you got 2 successes just. She makes a cocktail for you that is okay.
Walks in super confident, like, I got this. Like,
Here you go, love.
and it's a cocktail. I drink it. And I look at her and I say, wow, that is the best cocktail I've ever had. I don't think Pro's ever had a cocktail.
What's Seb doing at this time?
Seb, do you require a drink?
Excuse me.
You want the moon? Yeah, okay, I'll go get you a glass of moonshine. Then. Bring it back.
The sound of the door to the Uglies bar opens as you are all kind of enjoying this moment. There's an odd clank, 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 clank running down the stairs.
Is it 9 feet?
No, it's not 9 feet.
Jesus, keep the inside jokes to a minimum, please.
Sorry.
Clamp, clamp down the stairs.
Something.
What are you doing in this moment?
What is it? Is Johnny?
You just hear some movement. No, Johnny's standing in the room. Ugly's sitting at the bar.
I make the cocktails.
I'll glance.
So I sort of like sipping my drink, turn over to towards where Ugly is, and I'm like, all right, so I feel like we got to make a few future plans. Line up our ducks, as they say.
Ugly! A voice shouts out, and you see Songbird burst in, tears pouring down her face. And she just says, Amir's dead! And that's it.
Who's dead?
Amir.
Amir.
You don't know who Amir is.
Oh. Well, that's a cliffhanger. Certainly
She's
something
covered in-
about to happen
She's
immediately in
covered
the next
blood
episode.
as well.
Oh, cool.
It's a crucial fact.
Yes.
Very crucial.
Probably
fact.
leave with that one.
She's covered in blood.
I
And
like
tears.
how we like infiltrate the city and like get all this stuff and we like do the big upgrade. It's like
Make some cocktails.
he was like, I'm ready. Make a drink. Like,
I needed to know.
love it. Yay, that was fun. I'm interested in what you guys in the comments think, but our sort of hour and
They
a
hate
half
me because
ish.
every episode is a fucking cliffhanger. Every episode.
No, but that's good though. Like that, it's like that's what books do.
I actually wanted
At the
to...
end of each chapter, it's like there's a thing that's wrapped up, but also the next thing is hinted at, or
led on to, yeah.
yeah.
I wanted to
Feels
give a
right.
little bit more of that, but it's 11:50. So I was like, I don't have time.
We should wrap
I
up.
don't have time.
It's all right. We have spent hours dicking around in the chat. So if you want to come join the future shenanigans, we have a lot of fun. It's a proper game night vibe. I freaking love it because we work hard to do the content, and like our evening game session is just like our time to hang out with each other and with you guys, and it's fun. It's fun, and Dave drinks. I would have joined you, but
drink. How long until Rob can drink?
I'm on the water tonight. So may we enjoy that when that time comes. But in the meantime, that's all we got time for today. Join us in the next episode.
Love a good
I'm
episode.
wrapping up. Someone else take over the finishing because I sucked at that one.
Oi. Bloody better watch episode 10. You better rewatch episode 9.
Just finished, but click the replay button. It's good stuff.
Press like, press subscribe. What else? What else can
Watch
I
some of
do?
our other
comment.
videos here.
What was your favourite moment? Leave it down below.
The other videos are over your face. I'm so sorry.
Woo! Yeah, they're right here.
Have you ever
Enjoy.
done the other videos?
Yeah, I'm doing them now.
Oh, you're doing them now?
Yeah.
See you guys. Other videos. Bye.